All right, let's go back to Italy now.
Yeah.
We are waiting there for Matteo Renzi to meet with the President of Italy to formally tender his resignation. What can we expect to come after that? There was talk for some time of snap elections. I gather that has been sort of sidelined. But what do you expect the next steps to be here in Italy?
So really the next step is to find a caretaker,
whoever it might be.
Whoever it might be. I mean, it's the current Finance Minister, Padoan, he's been a front runner for quite some time. But a range of names have come into the mix in the last few days. Just looking here, we have the Transport Minister, Graziano Del Rio, the Culture Minister, Dario Franceschini, even the Senate Speaker, Pietro Grasso. All these names are now in the mix. And it really sort of depends on how ambitious the President wants to be. There's a lot of talk about a new electoral law that will be introduced, kind of to keep out five-star in the populist movement, which is the opposition populist movement that have been doing very well. You know, really, I think what you're going to see essentially is the political establishment sort of circling the wagons and trying to figure out a way how to keep these people out of power.
There is so much that needs to be fixed in Italy right now when you look at the political situation, the economic situation as well. How much policy is going to get done here in the next matter of months when you have a caretaker government trying to get something done? It's
going to be very difficult. I mean, if you look at everything that's happening across Europe, governments that are now, they're caught in the headlights. So the populists are doing extremely well. If you're in power now, you're constantly looking over your shoulders, worried about putting through any policy measures that could be in any way unpopular, and all the while this is going on, you have the populists just railing at you and just saying you're out of touch, you don't understand, you don't understand the concerns of the ordinary worker. So Italian politicians, like your politicians across the region, are now sort of stuck in this weird paralysis. The more, the political dynamics are making it harder for them to make changes, but at the same time, those are the changes that need to be done to sort of fix some of the root problems that the populists are feeding on. So it's sort of very much a negative feedback loop at the moment.
John, last question here. What's the prism through which we should look at the results of yesterday's referendum there? A referendum on populism generally, or something more domestically focused?
I think it's that's a very good question. It's an important point to make. I would be careful about transposing the lessons from yesterday's referendum result onto the rest of Europe. Don't forget, Matteo Renzi very clearly made this a referendum about himself. He said, if you vote no, if you reject this, I resign. Now, I think he later regretted that. That was a mistake. So this was as much of a domestic referendum on Renzi's tenure as it was, on confidence in the political establishment. Populists are trying to make it out to be that saying that's what it was. But we need to be very, very careful not to assume that we're going to have a whole wave of Donald Trumps coming to power across Europe over the next year.